All right.
And the
Thank
recording
you.
started. Thank you, Hamza. Thank you for joining, and thank you to all the group leaders who have joined. So, over to Hamza. He would like to introduce himself first and then start the session, I guess. So, over to Hamza.
Thank you, Hassan, Imshai, and everyone who collaborated for this wonderful event. It's been a while. I've been talking to all of you, and I think I take this opportunity to talk to all of you, people who joined, people who will be joining, and also people who are watching this recording on a YouTube and other platforms. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be an amazing session for all of you, informatic. I'm not sure about how many of you have already know about this Agentforce DX so far, but after this session, I'm pretty sure that you will be surprised to see that there is something that will help you build your CI/CD pipelines and DevOps along with your other things. So I also presented this particular topic on Dreamforce as well. So you'll see some of these Dreamforce highlights somewhere, particularly in the demo as well. Th- I guess I kept them as is for now. I didn't make any modifications, just so you guys are aware that what exactly my thought were earlier, right, while presenting this as a Dreamforce, and so that the demo also be relevant until unless I make those changes there. So, first of all, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. People watching on a video recording on different time zones. Um, how many have have built an AI agent yet? Right, you can put me on the chat, chat messages, and have you got your answers on your in your head? Wonderful. Okay, some have said yes, wonderful. Some said do not. Okay, that's fine. That's a good opportunity for you to getting started at some point. And how many of you are aware or have created these agents through Agentforce DX? Chat quickly. Nice, Hassan. Wonderful. Didn't know that. Nice. I mean, you created yourself. Wonderful. All right. So I can see some of them have not started yet. Wonderful. That's also good. Um, so that's exactly the thing that we are talking about. That's it's the same problem that we are solving today. So thank you again for joining this session, and I hope that you learn something new today. I won't take much more time. It's just like 20, 15, 20 minutes, but that's gonna be really quick. All right. My name is Hamza Siddiqui. Most of probably you know me already. If not, I am. I've been doing many things for Salesforce for Pakistan, and now doing things continuing from New Zealand. I'm working as a technical architect at Datacom currently, and before that, I've been around 10, 12 years in Salesforce yet, and I still see my career pursuing in Salesforce. So yeah, you'll see me around. All right, so here's what we are covering today. We will quickly address the challenging of the point and click development. Then we quickly introduce what Agentforce DX is and as a solution, and understand the core concepts of how things working there. And then most important time we'll spend on demo, right? And see how exactly things works. And your turn for your turn to create a quick agent today. Yeah, today or tomorrow, whatever. Whenever you can. But yeah, hope the whole idea is today that it's quick and easy to you to do so that you can do yourself. Very pretty easy. So you see, most of the AI agent development today happens through point and click interfaces. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. I love it. But did you ever dream of having an AI agent feels like deploying an Apex classes where you write the configuration, run a command, test it locally, and just push it? Done. No window switching, no separate UI, no different workflows, no separate special AI tools, just code. That's the world Agentforce DX creates. So here's the reality for the pro code developers. It doesn't fit into the modern development workflow. Why? Because you are building agents in a UI while your Apex classes, Lightning Web components, and other metadata are in Git repository. You are testing manually while your Lightning components have automated testing, like Jet classes. You are deploying through test setup while everything goes through CI/CD. We need a way to bring agents into the same world as rest of our core. And that's where Agentforce DX comes in. Think of it as a CLI extension specifically designed for AI agent development. The beauty is that it uses the same concept you already know. The YAML classes, I'm talking to developers here. So YAML specs, XML metadata, version control with Git. You don't need to learn new tools because it's with your existing IDE and workflow. It's like they took everything you already know and said, hey, let's make this work for AI agents too. So no new paradigm, no separate tool chain, just the IDE, your CLI, agent agents that behave like first class citizens in your code base. And by mean IDE, it can be your agent force vibe, it can be your VS Code, it can be your cursor or any other IDE that you agent use. It's worth all of them. Demo time. But before that, let us understand the use case, what we are trying to do in the demo. We are building an agent for Dreamforce attendees. I'm not sure how many of you have been to Dreamforce, but think of it this way. Dreamforce happened in Dreamforce has like around 170,000 people, 1,500 sessions spread across three massive venue buildings. So people actually do attendees especially they've spent like some major time, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to figure out where's the room 3007, only to realize it's a separate different building. That happened to everyone at attendees. It happened to me as well. So that's a problem that we're solving today. So we are building an agent named probably Dreamforce Navigator agent that helps attendees find the right sessions, navigate to the correct halls, rooms, and manage their schedule and get timely reminders. Of course, sky's the limit, so we can do build much more. But here, for now, we'll just solving this. So real problem, real solution, built with pro code tools, right? So what are we gonna do? So here's our journey. First, we're gonna create the agent spec using the natural language. Just describe what the agent does in plain English language. Then we create the agent using this spec file and watch all the metadata get generated automatically. And then third, we got to preview what how the agent looks like and test it locally without deploying anything. Cool? All right. So now I'm not doing it, on the live. So, what do they say? Never trust a live demo. It's not like a Tesla demo, but to ensure this is a flawless and fast, I've pre-recorded this whole segment. So let's watch this action. All right, first thing first, we have this, VS Code window. Pretty much, we are like this. I have all this code project created. First, I'm gonna generate this agent spec. So I wrote ASF agent generate spec. Now I select the type of the agent, and I'm just gonna add the company, Dreamforce, let's say. Now here on the description, I'm adding the description of this agent. So but agents for is about class AI and etc. etc. Now the role of an agent, I'm also describing the role. So what needs to be done by this particular agent. As soon as I'm done, now I can see that new EML file has been created automatically. And if you look at that, the top section is the same as provided. However, if you look at the bottom section, the different topics, this is all AI. AI automatically generated these topics for me. I've realized, okay, this is wonderful. I'm ready to create new agent. I'm going to go back to my CLI and I start SF agent create. This gonna ask me a couple of things. Okay, which YAML file? Because you can have multiple many YAML files. I'm gonna select this YAML file, and as soon as I select this, it's gonna ask me what's the agent name. I'm gonna provide the name TF Navigator, automatic API, and quickly it takes a couple of seconds depending on the YAML file configuration, how big, how many topics you have. It creates wonderful. Now I've got the agent created. If you see, oh, there's a new metadata. I've got the bot, the DF Navigator. I got this Gen AI plan bundles. I got this JI plugins. You must be wondering, one agent, so much metadata. I know, don't worry about that. We'll talk about later. All right, if I go back to Salesforce, I can see now the DF Navigator here exists. So it quickly creates automatically. Wonderful. If I open this up and open in the builder, we'll see all the details out there. And it's the same UI that we all love, right? And here I can chat with an agent. I can start typing, and it will start responding, and you can see that the all the wonderful details that the agent force builder gives to. Wonderful. I like this. Now I need to do is that preview in a CLI, which is a wonderful part. So if you're the person like me who doesn't want to go switch windows multiple times, I can do the chat with an agent and test it like here locally. I don't have to go back to Salesforce. And if you're not the person who doesn't like the CLI, we also have a plugin, a better user interface within a VS Code where you can go and select the agent from the drop down and start typing and start chatting. Here you can have all the responses. And not just that, the best part is also got this debug mode. So if you're using any Apex classes, you can have your debug log configuration back in your VS Code. Cool, isn't it? All right. Next, we're gonna create this test agent. So we're gonna do test spec. Test spec is gonna work same as agent spec. We're gonna create this YAML file for that. Here, I'm just adding the agent force navigator. I'm selecting that. Now it's asking me the utterance. I'm gonna provide. Okay, I'm creating these test cases here. So first test case. Okay, where is the agent force developer key now? This is just kind of testing. Here, that is asking me the topic. I think the topic is gonna be event navigation. Here, I select it. Here, I select the action which is assigned to this topic. All right, assigned. Now, expected outcome. What I am expecting from the agent. Or let's say agent should respond me with the expect time. So let's just say starts 10 a.m. You want the custom evaluation? You can also provide the custom evaluation right here in this. And also you can have this boilerplate conversation history right in your VS Code. All this say no for now. I can add another case, but for now I'm good. As soon as I'm done, I can see that another YAML file created called as a test spec. If I open it up, it has the basic information and plain English language. I can make modifications right here instead of doing this in the CLI. I can add more test cases. I can make those changes. For now, it seems pretty easy. I'm gonna create this test agent. Here I type SF agent test create, and it's gonna ask me a couple of information. I say okay, this is API name, say DF navigator test because the navigator is it earlier. Oh, I missed the underscores. I'll put the underscores right now. Okay, agent now name's to fine. Now it's asking me the YAML file. I'll select the test spec YAML file this time. Wonderful. A new metadata. Wow. Okay, you can see there's a new metadata created AI evaluation definition. If I open it up, oh my god, it's all XML, which I don't want to modify. So you can see that's all created through the YAML file. I don't want to make any changes here. If I go back to this lab icon here in VS Code, I can test this agent right now. Just press this play icon and it's gonna run the test. It test is running in progress. Oh, it failed. Oh my god. Ever wonder why it failed? Because we don't have a data in Salesforce. So some passed, some not. This is a good sign. It failed. Wonderful. Now, if I go back to Salesforce, you will see the same experience here. Here I'm in Salesforce, you can see the test is created. If I open it up, you will have the full transparency. Whatever test you're running in CLI is also available within a Salesforce as well. So it is good opportunity for you to share this information with your business analysts, PMs, and other people who are managing test agents, and they will ask, okay, what's happening, what's passing, what's failed, so they can do this all information. And we have this wonderful UI, so you can download results and stuff. Cool. Koster, I'll take the questions at the end. Okay. All right. Core concepts. This is where Agentforce DX really shines. Now that you have seen see it working, let's understand the architecture, how things are working. I know you're thinking, well, great, more metadata to learn, but trust me, this is essential. This is actually elegant once you understand it. But this is I spent like billions of hours to understand why this metadata is important. It is important because if you are using the CI/CD pipelines to make sure that your agents goes to your new repository, so let's just say you are creating this agent in a dev environment, you want to make those changes, want to push those changes to the UAT, you have to make sure that you are adding all the metadata that needs to be pushed to the UAT. Otherwise, it's going to sabotage the whole agent. So, what is what? So the foundation is the agent spec, the YAML file we created earlier, right? A YAML file that's a human readable and version controllable. This contains all the properties of the agent and the LLM generated list of topics. So no more deciphered script configuration files like XML we have seen earlier. The bot and the bot version defines the chatbot, which we know already, right? But when you add the Gen AI plan bundle with it, it becomes the intelligent agent. That's the reasoning agent. Gen AI plugins represent the topics like weather or events, and Gen AI functions are actual actions. Let's say if you're using your FX classes, your flows, or the prompt builders, your prompts, those are things. And the beauty is separation of concerns. So you can update one function without touching others. That's the beauty. And the last AI evaluation definition that's generated for testing purposes. Cool. I'll take the questions afterwards. Wonderful. This is also amazing. So pro code for integration. This is the part I love. Agents are metadata now, so they can fit perfectly with your Git workflows. Create a feature branch, build your agent, commit, push changes. Done. Your team lead or PM reviews your agent spec just like an Apex classes. The CI/CD pipeline deploys agents along other metadata and runs automated testing. I'm not sure have you any got any problems. So let's just say if you're using creating any agent yet, and if you're using the Apex classes, you have to deploy them separately. You have to deploy your Apex classes before you do this agent deployment through the manual UI. But now you can do this all together in a CI/CD pipeline. It's a part of the standard deployment pipeline for you. So let's quickly talk about some best practice that's come from the real world implementation. Uh, I've learned them, the hard way, but good for you. So when building the Agentforce DX, um, think of these four pillars as your development foundation. So first thing first, start simple. Pick one use case, nail it, then expand. Don't try to build everything at once. You cannot build the whole Burj Khalifa in one day. Try step by step, one floor at one time. The modular design. Build reusable action like Lego blocks that you can combine across different age and topics. Version control everything so your team has every single source of truth for you. So that you can come back to the earlier version where everything was working. Test early. Define what success looks like upfront. Then test edge cases and full conversations before you deploy. Use the Agentforce testing center to catch issues early when they are fixed to cheap, of course. Consider the essentials. The performance, security, monitoring are not optional. Always consider that before you start thinking of the agents. A slow action ruins the experience, and without proper governance, agents can't scale. So the key takeaways, if I summarize it quickly, so start focused, build modular, test constantly, and never skip the fundamentals. All right, getting started is incredibly easy. So you see, it's a wonderful, amazing, colorful. I like this QR code. This QR code contains the comprehensive documentation, the modules, the sample code on GitHub by me, and strong community links. So scan this QR code and cut all the links. It will take you to my blog where we have everything. I keep updating that blog, so make sure you bookmark that. So this is just the beginning. The question isn't whether you will build an AI agent, but it's when you will start. And with Agent 4 DS, that can be today. So I challenge you all to build your first agent by the end of the day. It really takes 10-15 minutes until you get into any hurdles. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much for your time. Now I think it's time for the QA. All right. So first thing I've seen the question by Koser. Hamza, things are already configured in your environment. Can you provide a step-by-step guide for this? Wonderful. It's in a QR code. So scan this QR code. I'm gonna get back to this QR code right for you so that you can have everything that you need. I hope this answers your question, Kosa. All right, thank you, question, Taha. It's an VS Code extension named VS Code DX and manifest specific file to include the J, Gen AI metadata, I believe, to get started in terms of setup. Um, it gets created automatically as soon as you done that. There's the Agentforce DX extension actually, VS Code, there you are, but it already included in the Salesforce Essentials plugin. So if you install that, Agentforce DX plugin will come with that. Cool. Um, Yeah, it is true that not all the metadata is not yet support the Agentforce data, like example, context variable and context filter. I haven't tried this, but I guess you gotta try it yourself. I'm not really sure about this. Context filter, I think it's a part of, if you ask me particularly, I think it's gonna be part of the Gen AI bundle. It should be. If not, but you have a look at the Agent Force. There are new changes after this Agent Force vibe, right? So they may include this now, but I don't have the certain answer for this. But good question, Tal.
That was lovely, Hamza. Hamza, can you also talk about the five pillars of agents and how we're going to deal with them while developing these agents? I mean, the grounding stuff, the guardrails, if we want, and can we develop them, or do we have to, set them through the admin panel, or
So the guardrails and stuff, that all depends on the different use cases and how and what are you trying to build. So agent, of course, Agent Force is gonna be the future, right? Salesforce has been
right?
doing a lot more marketing and things for the Agent Force, particularly so that people can adopt it. And I see that the many adoptions have been started already in the different regions. I'm not sure about Pakistan and other regions. I hope that is currently happening and people are learning, but I see that there's a lot more gap currently. People getting started. People are just observing right now that how
Mhm.
Agent Force is gonna work in the future. But the thing is, it's not about will you use the Agent Force. It's about when you will use it. So that's why Salesforce is keeping free credits and making those changes in the price and that people can adopt it.
Absolutely.
My recommendation for everyone is to get started with that. The learnings about the guardrails and the governance will come with it. So
Yeah.
when you start developing these agents, you will learn that there are many things that you can do with with these agents, and they are also evolving. Salesforce is like not like they know everything. So you will see that many new changes will be coming in after this reinforce, of course, and before this GDX. After this new year, they are improving a lot. There's going to be much more performance. They're much more better in terms of the performance and the results, the outcome. Many people have seen that the agents are hallucinating in terms of if you do not provide the right
Absolutely.
information, and that's
Yeah.
also based on data cloud. If you ask me particularly, data is the source of this
Basic
whole
pillar.
agent,
Yeah.
right? If and that's
Absolutely.
why data cloud has been changed to data 360, and they are doing a
Yeah.
lot more things to make sure that the formatted data and unformatted data also gets into the agents. And if you see in this new release, Dreamforce, they have
Mhm.
done this auto mapping. So earlier, people are. So if I come back to the adoption side, people are also not very adoptive with data cloud. They are very comfortable using
Yeah.
this sales cloud, service cloud, but they are not gonna get into their data cloud. They are thinking that data
Absolutely.
cloud is only important for the agent force, but it's not. Data
Mhm.
cloud is becoming the even essential thing for everyone, not I would say
Yep.
everyone, but especially for the enterprises, for people having the multiple sources of data. Let's say if your company is
Mhm.
using the snowflakes and other data sources, you have AWS, right? Then you're storing your data there with Redis and other technology,
Right.
Apache. What's the Then you need a data cloud to make
Yeah.
sure that your all the information that you store stays as a collateral for that. And once you got this data refined, then you can source this data to agent. And agent, of course, once you've done that, agent will not do his hallucination. So I'm sorry for the long answer, but the short
No
answer is
worries.
that it all depends your adoption, the how you what are you building, why are you building, what are the and what are the governance for that. So once you get
Yeah,
it started,
absolutely.
you will learn
Absolutely.
you will learn this in your
Yes.
journey.
I do agree. Yeah, and absolutely. The building agent is not a big task. It can be made in 10 minutes, as you said. But ideating it, planning it is the main task, right? And
Yep.
before that, you have to actually plan on what's going to be the pain area that you're going to that agent is going to resolve, right? And the types that you mentioned, either it's going to be an employee agent, either it's going to be a service agent, or what kind of area is going to target, right? And
Yep.
where it's going to be deployed. So, are there some steps while using this Agentforce DX that we can use in order to, deploy this agent and where it needs to be deployed? Can you share those steps, or maybe if you can have a documentation kind of thing so that we can share everyone on how that is going to be deployed and when and where?
Agent Force. I mean, i- if you could, if you consider the Agent Force DX, Agent Force DX is just a part of the Agent Force. It's a product. Agent Force DX just is streamlining the whole process, and all the information that I've, all the good parts and the best part that I've shown is a demo. It's just the, it's the peak of the mountain. Agent Force DS does a lot more things that I'm not also aware of. So you can do many more things. So Agentforce DX is particularly is built for developers and for the architects to make sure that they are CI/CD pipelines. So of course, the enterprises use CI/CD. Not all, nobody making those changes in a UAT and sandbox and then pushing them
Mhm.
back. They are using CI/CD, and Agentforce was lacking in that particular problem, because the enterprise was saying, okay, we have adopted the Agentforce, now we are using Agentforce, but we are building the agents. But how we can align this whole process, because we are using these, the flows and prompt builders and the Apex classes, which gets deployed through our repository. But for the
Mhm.
agent, it's a separate process. We have to do it multiple times. It's taking a lot more time for us, and that's why they build this Agent Force DS, so that they can streamline this whole process and make sure that the Agent Force also is a metadata. So if you ask
Absolutely.
particularly, Agent Force
Mhm.
DX is a part of the agent which helps
Yes.
helps developers and the architects to streamline their pipeline and process. And agent with respect to agent, there are many things. There are many things available online, but again, until you won't learn until you get your hands dirty with respect to the agent
Yes.
particularly.
I
So
agree. Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely, because I've also created agents through using VS Code, and
Mhm.
after that I also tried Agentforce DX. But similarly, it's really helpful if you want to create the test after that, because creating an agent is not a big deal, but after that deploying it and creating its all
Yeah.
doing the prerequisites and all that, that's the main thing that actually stops you from deploying an agent, right? And we
Right.
got stuck in that. So that Agentforce DX is a very good tool for that, and I really would like everyone to try it out. Either using VS Code first, using Cursor for creating an agent,
Hmm.
because it's really massive, right? I've created the integrations part with it, and I've done integrations with NetSuite and Dynamics. I've got communication with Agentforce with NetSuite and Dynamics also. So it's a really good tool in terms of creating all those test passes and deploying it, doing all the prerequisites first, because that's the main thing that actually stops you from deploying an agent.
Yeah. Imagine the different use cases. So like just the first use case, let's say you started the agent creation. Wonderful. You spent 3 months, 4 months, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. Now it has evolved in a way that it's become a whole giant for you to manage yourself. So you have your team who is managing different topics. So let's say one agent has like 10 topics right now. Each topic is assigned Apex classes, which have a big metadata and the data that is handled through. How you can manage that one big giant yourself alone? You cannot. You need a team for that, and the team will be
Agreed.
working. Let's say one team is working on one topic. With the current UI builder, of course, that's a mess. That's a hectic. You cannot do that. But with Agentforce DX, you can have multiple team working on different topics, and they use a separate feature branch for that. Once they're done with those changes, they can push those changes to the master branch, and you can
Hmm.
test it along and push into production.
Yep.
That's the way that you could look at. The other scenario could be, I don't know, mm, the data of the agent force, and the let's just say you already have this agent created in production. Now you
Hmm.
want this same agent to be in your UAT and stuff. Of course, first of all, you just refresh your sandbox, create new sandbox. But what if you have your whole branch? You just pull the metadata, right? Like you use the FS classes, make those changes and try deploying those changes back again. So yeah, there can be many scenarios where you use this Agentforce DX, but I highly recommend all of you to go to this QR code. There is a wonderful to getting started. It's not like comprehensive guidelines. It's for you to getting started how what Agentforce DX is. And as Vivek told me, Vivek Chawla is a product manager of this Agentforce DX. I had a very brief chat with him during Dreamforce and after that and before this as well. So he gave me the sneak peek of things happening with the Agentforce, and I'm also one of these beta testers for them. Hopefully, that I'll be giving them the feedback about this. So you'll see
Lovely to
many
hear.
new things with the Agentforce DX. He was very passionate about this product, and I'm sure everybody, all the developers around the world, will love it as well as much as I do.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
So we would like to open the floor for any more questions. If any would like uh, to add something or maybe share their experience or have any more questions or suggestions, so they're most welcome to put it there.
Yeah, but
Yes.
before that, I just want to thanks all of you who joined and who will be watching on the video recording. I know it's Saturday for you guys. It's a family time, but you are still here. That means you are prioritizing your learning. You are helping me learning new things after by asking these questions. So really appreciate that. Feel free to open your mic and the camera if you don't mind. Um, I'm not gonna judge. Trust me. Feel free to ask any questions if you have. Of course, you people asking me questions will open my mind. Okay, this is a thing, and I haven't thought about it. Like this context filters of variables.
So everybody is a presenter. If they can unmute or maybe ask questions in chat if they're shy, so it's okay.
Yeah. If there are no more questions, that means either I am a wonderful speaker or you guys didn't get it at all. All right. I take the first option. Like, I'm a wonderful speaker and presenter. Okay. Cheers,
Yeah.
everyone. Feel free to ping me on LinkedIn. Feel free to ping me on my WhatsApp. I'm always available to help you out if you get stuck or you need any assistance with anything other than Agent Force or than anything with Salesforce or personal life. Let's say you come ask me if your wife is making your life trouble. I can give you some feedback on that as well.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Maybe
Hamza,
Hamza
can
bhai,
you
Everything.
yeah,
share?
they haven't started working on it, so that's why they don't have any questions. But yeah, there is one from Kauser in the chat, like for the trail
Hmm.
for
Is there
Is
Agent
any
there
Force.
any
trail
trail
available?
available for agent?
I've never. I think there is one. There is a wonderful video of Vivek showing us around the whole thing. You should have a look. It's Vivek and Mohit Srivastava doing this demo on his podcast. So I recommend that. I think there is one. I've already added this trailer module, Agent Force module, in the QR code. So if you look at this QR code blog your post, you will find a trailer module there.
Yeah, I don't think we have a trail for it, but the developer docs is already there. I've shared the link also, so it might help you in some way.
Yeah, no, I remember there is a trailer. That's why I have added my blog post.
Right.
You'll find it for sure. Let me have a look. Make sure there is. Yeah, there is. There is a module. There is a module. It's
Yeah, it's
available
just
on the link. Yeah,
I've shared it on the chat.
nice. I've also added the link for the blog post where you have
Awesome.
all these things.
Perfect. Thank you, Hamza bhai. And thank you for the amazing session as always. It was so helpful and maybe we can reach
My
out to you,
pleasure.
yeah, on LinkedIn or WhatsApp if we like have any questions. Or anyone from the
Yeah.
audience or participants can reach out to Hamza bhai if they need something.
Yes, and also it's a very great floor to have all of you who are doing the beta testing and all that, because
Yeah.
before getting your hands dirty on something, it's really nice to have everyone, or maybe it's a very good floor to have most of the feedback if someone is working on it or getting ideas from all over the world, I guess. So
Yeah. And for And for all the people who haven't started working on the agent force, get in there, because Salesforce is pushing a lot.
Yes.
Of course, there is something that they are visioning after 5 or 10 years. So Salesforce agent force is gonna be the future, right? I know that many of you are doing this, code development or configuring the experience portal and doing the sales cloud, service cloud implementations. But it's try to implement some of the agents for yourself, in your personal time. That will give you the edge. Okay, what agent force actually is and how easy is to create, and try to implement that in your customer projects, or for within your company's Salesforce orgs. Get your hands dirty and get into practice, because agent if you don't gonna cope up with those new changes that agent force is bringing, the next thing is
Mhm.
agent force will bring, it was gonna be a huge left for
Yes.
you to for the learning. And once you get into that uh, path, it's gonna be very difficult for you to change, come from out of your comfort zone. So it's time to get it out right now.
Absolutely, I agree. Because getting in there and failing right now is a very good option, rather
Mm,
than staying back and knowing nothing about it.
yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
And I agree. And because of, I've already seen the job posts around the world, and they are actually looking for people who know agent force, right? And they are actually building all those. They are, either they build or not, but they are actually requiring all those AI skills, right? And on if you're working on Salesforce, agent force is the way for it. And we are not talking about, learning machine learning or getting hands dirty on AI and learn about AI, what AI is doing and all that. But we have to know of what Agent Force is and what it's doing. So I think it's a great platform to launch yourself in some way, whatever that is, because there are Agent Force for admins, right? And now admin Agent Force is actually doing all the admin stuff, configuration and all that, working on the setup and all that. So I think we should be able to, do something about our futures, getting your hands dirty and getting something really extraordinary in your resume as well. So I think that's a great thing. Hamza, thank you so much for your time and all the group leaders who have joined and all the participants who have joined. Thank you so much for joining. And it was a great thing. Until anyone else has something else, we're going to close this floor and rest will leave up to you.
Regarding Pakistan Raven, we are planning something, hopefully this new year. So keep have a look at the website. You will find the news if there's any. Of course, we are doing something good this time as well
Great.
for Pakistan Raven. So
Yeah.
hope to see you guys at Pakistan Raven, and maybe before early session.
I was
Wow.
about to ask about Pakistan Dream. What's going to happen?
I know. Pakistan Raven is we are trying to get as much as sponsors as we can, so that we can have a blast this time as well.
Awesome.
So that's number one priority. Um, yeah, I don't
Wow.
want to say much on the while we are recording this.
That's how you stop. Yeah.
So we'll stop the recording and we'll leave this floor for Mother and you, and we can just leave this.